This is One on One. Aasif Mandvi is an actor and a writer. He is a correspondent in a lot of his time, daytime. Regular job with The Daily Show with Jon Stewart on Comedy Central. And there's a play right around the corner here that you're involved in called?
Disgraced.
All about?
It is about, the meat of it sort of takes place at a dinner party with two interracial couples. These very sophisticated, erudite, smart New Yorkers who are having a conversation about race politics, identity politics, Islam, 9/11, sexual politics, things that you should never discuss at a dinner party. And it goes very badly. By the end of it, they're throwing each other around the room. And it's a really brilliantly constructed, beautifully written play about the way people, as much as what we say we believe and how rational and thoughtful we are about things, at the end of the day, it really talks about our tribal connections and our sense of identity and what it really means and how we identify ourselves and what we say about ourselves.
And your character?
I play Amir Kapoor, who is a Pakistani-American, who is a very successful attorney.
And you are originally from
I'm
India.
originally from India,
Right.
yes, yeah. And Amir he's married to a beautiful American Caucasian woman who specializes in Islamic art. He renounces Islam, and really it's about he's the central character, and it is really about the fragmenting of his identity and what happens to you, the psychological danger of disassociating from where you come from.
Want to take a clip? Want to take a
Sure,
look at the
let's
clip?
watch it.
From Disgraced. Good stuff. Let's take a look.
So what's it like for you?
What?
Airport security. I mean, you hear stories.
I wouldn't know. We cut right to the chase.
He volunteers himself, goes up to the agents and offers himself up. What?
To be searched? Look, I figured they're looking at me. It's not because I look like Giselle.
What's the relationship like now with your wife here?
You know, she's an artist. I'm an attorney. I don't really understand her obsession with Islamic art, but a lot of what she sees, you know, what's beautiful about this play is that everybody has their point of view, and everybody is right and everybody's wrong, you know, and it's kind of like the world. And in the relationship with my wife, you see that here I have all these opinions about Islam, having grown up in the faith. She, having, you know, specializing in the art of it, sees the beauty and the tradition and the spirituality of the faith, whereas I see something else, and that is the point of conflict in our relationship regarding that.
The folks who are coming to the play.
Yeah.
Who are they?
A lot of different people. We have young people, old people, you know, what's amazing about it is that people walk, you know, when you work on a play like this, and I've been workshopping this play for about 2 years, and finally I'm doing it now here at Lincoln Center, and you never know how it's going to react, how an audience is going to react.
Which is, excuse me for interrupting, you don't offer any answers, solutions?
No, nothing.
Lots of questions.
It is, and that's what happens. People walk out in an incredibly thoughtful, provoked sort of place in terms of like what good theater can do, which is make you think and make you feel. And people come out of the theater crying. You know, so I've had people come up to me and say, I'm so incredibly sad and moved, and I don't exactly know why, but the sum of this experience has caused that. And other people come out with their friends and they're having a debate about the stuff that they just saw, you know. And I think that's why, because it really presents, and it's a brave play. It says things on stage that people don't hear, you know, that people say behind closed doors. People don't say in mixed company, you know? So I think that it allows a cathartic experience for the audience and an uncomfortable experience for them.
Given how and where you grew up in India, how
Yeah.
much of this do you personally
Well,
relate to?
I mean, I'm Indian, but I was raised Muslim. And so, like the playwright Ayad Akhtar, who is Pakistani-American, I was also raised in a Muslim culture, and culturally Muslim. So there is an overlap in terms of, you know, I mean, the character in the play comes from a much more traditional family than I did. My family was very liberal. But there is, I do relate, and that's why I love this role, in in terms of his identity crisis and what happens to immigrants in general. But what is very specific right now in America, which is Muslim Americans are asking themselves how to be a Muslim American in the world today, to recognize one's culture, one's heritage, one's faith, and to also recognize that you're an American.
So much going on here. By the way, plug it one more time. Disgraced.
It's called Disgraced. It's at the Clairtow Theater at Lincoln Center, running till December 2nd.
Right here. Got to ask you before I let you out of here.
Yeah.
How much fun is working on The Daily Show with Jon Stewart?
It's a great gig. I mean, I am the luckiest guy in the world to get. I work with some of the funniest, smartest people on television, and it's just great. Except for Jon Stewart. No, I'm kidding.
How much? I mean, when I watch the show, I think to myself, the writing is absurdly good.
Yeah.
How much of a hand do you have in that?
Correspondence, we get to, the stuff that you see in studio is written by our tremendous writers, but then when we go out in the field and we interview people, that's where we get to get our hands dirty in terms of really sort of involving ourselves in the creation of those jokes and the questions, and a lot of improvisation in the moment when people say things. You know, those interviews, you cannot predict how they go. So you got to be able to, like, you know, work out what the angle is and where the funny is in the moment. People say crazy things. You know, people say crazy things.
There's some good stuff on television. There's some great stuff in theater. I want to thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very
Great
much
stuff.
for having me. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
One on One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating 25 years of broadcast excellence. This special edition of One on One with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Tisch WNET studios at Lincoln Center. Funding has been provided by Hackensack University Medical Center, Berkeley College, TD Bank, Qualcare Inc., a local managed care company covering 750,000 New Jersey residents, the law firm of Gibbons PC, and by Verizon Communications. Promotional support provided by the Star Ledger and NJ.com, Everything Jersey, and by the New Jersey Business and Industry Association and its monthly magazine, New Jersey Business. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area. One on One with Steve Adubato has been produced in partnership with St. Joseph's Healthcare System.